Welcome to the Fleet Geeks Podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoyed the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook?
Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Fleet Geeks. Today we're going to be talking about what to expect as a newcomer to our industry, to transport. And the reason I sort of put this one in our chat to speak about this was because I had someone contact me a couple of weeks ago asking how they get into the industry. He'd seen obviously advertised everywhere, you know, big push for lorry drivers. I think there must be a lot of new people coming into the industry. And do they really know what to expect? Do they think they're going to jump in a truck, do their 9 to 5 and £45,000 a year with a nice shiny truck with all the bells and whistles? I think a lot of the lorry drivers would tell you that's perhaps not always the case. It probably is somewhere, but it's not generally not always the case. It'd be interesting to, I don't know if anyone saw the Top Gear episode, how good the industry looked.
Got to watch that yet, yeah.
Yeah, it did look like a advertising campaign from the BBC and the government to get people into our industry. But yeah, what to expect? Long hours is a bit of a must. Unsociable hours, you know, is the reality of the industry. Yeah, is it an easy job?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's an easy job, and that's just the driving side of things. There's many other parts of our industry as well.
I think there's easier ways to make money than working in transport. Is one thing I'd say. I think it's very rewarding, and I think, in my opinion, it's very rewarding, and I think you meet some really great people. But absolutely, if I think it's very tired. It's set in its ways. The hours are long. If you look at it from an hourly rate point of view, I think the money can be good at times.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But I think you have
it's certainly gotten better, hasn't it?
Yeah. And you need to give your pound the flesh. I haven't seen the Top Gear episode yet. However, it's on my iPlayer. We were talking about it today during the ISO audit, actually, 9001 audit. So I'm keen to have a look at that. But yeah, I think what to expect. I think people don't really realise, and in reality, I think you need to have quite a sunny disposition, because there's a few sour apples in the basket, I think, sometimes, and they can turn you sour if you let them. What do you reckon, Mike?
Yeah, definitely. I met a few. In fact, it's one, when at various training courses, where we're trying to engage drivers, we always, one of the questions I always pose to people is, go on, and what makes a good driver? If you were, depending on your religious belief system, of course, if you were set up there with a big fella with a beard, and he said, right, okay, I'm going off for a tea break for 5 minutes. I want you to design me a driver. How would you design that driver? I'll tell you what, you'd be surprised how a number of people say, as number one, quality is calmness and not getting flustered, and I think that's probably true, isn't it? It's
there's a lot of responsibility.
Best quality you can get. So you've got to take it even, haven't you?
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. We're really proud to sponsor the Fleet Geeks podcast. Flagship Partners offer a range of consultancy and training services to ensure that our customers remain compliant and have the best possible knowledge to be able to fulfill their work. If you're interested in support with any of our safety, HR or compliance services, or you want to train to be a transport manager or need driver CPC training, give us a call today.
That was the thing that I was going to say. So I've recently been doing a guest slot with James McPherson on his Rebranding Safety podcast, and he's been probing me. Yeah, he's been probing me about
interesting guy.
The regulations and stuff like that with transport, and he finds it absolutely fascinating. The driver's hours rules and the fines on the roadside, and the fines for the maintenance, and it's the driver's problem if they're picked up with a defect at the roadside, and all that sort of stuff. I think people have no idea about, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been spoken about on the Top Gear episode.
No,
but
they did mention the driver's hours.
The enforcement. They did they? Right.
Yeah, okay. Not the fines that come with it.
There's a lot of enforcement, isn't there? And driver conduct is so vital. If you misconduct, it's almost like being a politician, right? In any other job, if you suffer misconduct, you leave your job, you go to another one. As a politician, you can be lambasted, and as an HGV driver or a transport manager, you literally can have,
you're under the microscope.
It's going to hurt. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
big time. So I think a lot of people will just see it as, you know, particularly truck fest goers and that kind of thing. You know, big shiny vehicles, maybe even seeing it as a bit sexy, but you know, I think it's not maybe all it looks to be.
Yeah.
Once again, it can be rewarding. I think it is a rewarding job. If you like your own time and space as well, it's a great job, isn't it?
I think, to be fair, that's probably what attracts people to the industry, isn't it? You know, despite the fact that you've got tracking, despite the fact you've got cameras, all the rest of it, you are still essentially, when you leave that yard, you're still your own person, aren't you? You're still your own boss, as it were, for that, you know, for that stretch. So I think that's a great attraction. I do. And
I agree. I think if you like a bit of autonomy, then it's and you're happy with your own. If you're happy with your own, you know, your own company, then it's definitely a good job for you. If you're an antisocial, crack on. You're gonna love it.
Absolutely, yeah. Sell the industry to me in one word, then.
What for me? So I think one word. I think it's just got loads of opportunity. I think
opportunity, great one. I think Jamie on the spot a little bit there. One word.
One word. The industry. I'd say it's quite diverse as well. What you actually see and do. I remember when I was a driver. There's so many things I saw that I wouldn't have saw if I weren't a driver.
I've snookered myself now because them the two I was going to think of, but so I can't think what variety, but that's the same as diversity.
There we go. Mike, off you go, mate.
No two words are the same.
Right then, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Thank you for coming by, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
See you guys. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.